What up, my people? Welcome to the very first episode of the Underdog, where we showcase talent and we give them an opportunity to be seen and heard. But of course, people always got something to say, but we're going to give them something real to talk about. But you know what? I can't do this alone. I got my co-host. She keeps me smiling from ear to ear. Her laugh is infectious, but you know what? I can go on and on and on and on about her. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to introduce you to Shaunie Stiletto. Where you at, Shaunie?
Yeah.
What
up, Grizz?
How you doing? How does it feel to be on your very first episode of The Underdog?
I have been anticipating this moment, and I am so excited for people to see all the amazing things we have come up with. And it's I lost for words.
Oh, happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
How was your Thanksgiving?
It was good, I'm, vegetarian, vegan, so I eat a lot of side dishes, and this year I really went in with the vegan stuff, and people liked it.
What did you have? You had stuffing mixed with tofu and quinoa on the side? Like, what?
You shut your mouth, okay? You're not going to be talking about my quinoa like that. It was delicious. Okay.
It was delicious. So, what kind of sides did you have for Thanksgiving?
Okay, so this is where I go from vegan to vegetarian, right? Because I still don't trust the mac and cheese on the vegan side yet. So I had the regular baked mac and cheese, some yams, some string beans.
So you're a cheater.
I don't like labels. Can't commit.
I had everything under the sun. I'm sitting over here. I'm full. I almost didn't make this interview. I'm sleeping.
What's the one dish you always look forward to for Thanksgiving?
Stuffing. Stuffing. If you don't have a good stuffing, everything else just kind of just does. It falls apart for me.
Yeah.
I don't care. The other foods could be good, but if the stuffing ain't right, let's just pack this up and it's time to go. You know what I'm saying? And I was a little taken back this year because I didn't get to watch any basketball this year because the season was over early and what have you. But
COVID.
Yeah. But I did get to watch some of my favorites. I love Abbott and Costello, Godzilla, Godzuki. The whole thing, you know what I'm saying? And, I'm a football guy, but,
I can't get into it. I've tried to learn the game so many times and it's like epic fail. I get I don't know, if it's ADHD, I'm distracted. So like somebody will try to explain and I'm like, squirrel. I can't do it.
I'd rather watch Abbott and Costello with Jack and the Beanstalk. I'd rather do that.
Oh, yeah, that's what's up. I'm out here watching, Thanksgiving, Happy Thanksgiving, Charlie Brown.
Wow.
But it's different now.
Yeah. Now you got to pay for it.
There it is. Stream everything, right? Everything has a price now.
Yeah, they taking all the good stuff away from us.
Crazy.
But you know what? I got a surprise for you. I don't even think you knew this surprise.
Tell me everything. Go.
So, he's a Grammy winner. He has several different names.
Yeah.
He's an icon, legend. He came from one of the original super groups. He's semi-sex symbol. I don't think he's going to compete with the Grizz, but that's here and there.
Okay.
Some of the names he goes by: Tical Stallion, Hot Nichols, Johnny Blaze. Should I go on?
Can we spell it?
I think we can spell his name.
We can spell it.
M.E.T.H.O.D Man. Yeah. What you?
No.
Shaunie, stop playing around. Just bring him in. Just bring him in. Man, so let's go with you, brother.
You know, it's Sunday, so I'm doing my fantasy football, 3 teams at once. I'm getting my butt kicked, all 3 teams. It's terrible, man. Nobody can stay healthy this year.
Yeah, everybody got hurt, right? Yeah, the Giants got hurt. Everybody got hurt.
Well, the Giants was hurt before the season started. They just suck.
So nobody wants to stay in the bubble.
Yeah, they don't want to stay in the bubble because those owners, those billionaire owners, don't want to pay for it. Ain't that? That's crazy, right? It's like the richest people be the stingiest ones.
That's how they stay rich?
No, that ain't how you stay rich. Not in life. Hell no. You got to do some kind of philanthropy or something, man.
So how are you faring with the whole COVID thing and you know, being in the house and locked down and all that other stuff?
COVID is a hoax. No, I'm playing. You know what? For me, it was cool because I like to stay in the house. You know what I mean? Okay. And knowing that everybody else was in the house, I knew I wasn't missing nothing. It felt great. I wasn't missing jack shit. No, but on a serious note, it's terrible that the number of deaths are so high. Yeah. The number of cases are so high. You know, we live in a world where we trust other people to take care of the things that they are assigned to take care of with our best interests at heart. But it seems like we're living in a society now where the people that are higher up are only out for their own best interests. Of course. It's kind of like the boat is sinking, and you know how on the Titanic the band stayed and played? Not this band, baby. They were the first ones on the boat. Right. Yes, sir.
So how are you keeping your fitness together, your push-ups, your sit-ups? How are you faring with that?
I got lucky. I say a week into the pandemic, a friend of mine had a private gym no one was using, and he let me and a friend of mine go up in there, and I've been going there ever since, man. So I've been on top of my little workout regimen, you know. Got to keep the dad bod in shape, man. I'm 50 years old.
I've been paying attention. You got that Tical athletics going.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I mean, if I'm going to do it, might as well, you know, get paid to do it.
Okay. I hear that. And you got like a water sponsor, right? Like RX Water and...
Yeah, we're trying to get with the water sponsorship now. RX Water. And, you know, if things work out, there's nothing sexier than an entrepreneur.
Okay, that part.
Talk about it.
That's what I'm talking about. And so I saw on your Instagram you're going to do something with Men's Health magazine.
Already did that. It's actually out right now. It shows like the whole workout regimen. I wasn't, you know what, the thing about Men's Health is when I really got on my workout stuff, I kind of requested them.
Okay.
And I'm glad that, well, not glad, but it was a kind of convenience that the pandemic did happen because it gave me more time to get in shape. So by the time I did do the actual article with them, I was ready. And it was cool. It came out really good. You can check it out on Men's Health. Yeah, Men's Health. Nobody buys magazines anymore, so just Google that shit.
So did you watch Bubble Basketball?
What's that?
LeBron James, man. I'm a champion, man.
Bubble basketball. Oh, okay. The Lakers won. You know what? I get it now. No, I don't. I'm not a basketball fan. I usually do watch the playoffs and all that, but not this year. For some reason, it just, I don't know. TV. I mean, my TVs were set on like news all day. You know?
So much other important stuff was going on.
Yeah, I mean that don't not take anything away from what they do, because that's pretty much important to them in that world, you know, and to the fans and stuff. But yeah, I was locked in on something, a whole different wave.
Okay.
I was trying to see when we were going to come back and start shooting on you know, the rest of the Power series, you know, because we had to stop. And we had 2 more episodes left to shoot. And thank goodness that the good people over at Lionsgate and Steiner Studios, who took all the necessary precautions to keep the actors as well as the crew safe. And we shot those last 2 episodes, man, with no cases.
So are they? Did you tell you guys when you guys are gonna come back, or like what's the situation with that?
No, we already came back. We came back. I'd say like 3rd week of September. We finished. We thank goodness we finished. We wrapped on that.
Okay. Anything juicy you would like to share?
The juicy part is me and Mary on the show still. There you go.
Well, I saw something juicy. You got to show that ass on Power in your love scene there.
Literally, right? I mean, honestly, behind the scenes, it was the most immature love scene ever. But on screen, I think it kind of transferred pretty well for that to be like not my official first love scene. My official first love scene. Thank goodness I got to go through it with It was a show called Rebel, and John Singleton directed that, so I was pretty comfortable with that. Okay. And I didn't have to get butt ass. I did not have to get butt ass naked.
Was it uncomfortable to get that way, in front of everybody?
Not in front of everybody, but the only uncomfortable part came was when I was just making sure my scene partner was good. You know what I mean? Over everything else. And once she was comfortable, then I was comfortable. And for the people out there saying, well, how come he didn't, Amari be going on? Well, see, Amari can go all in and all that stuff. This was pre-Me.T.O.D movement. You know what I'm saying? Right. We're talking about a Me.T.O.D movement. Not only that, I respect Sherry Psalm as an actress first and foremost. And whatever that scene called for was what you got.
I hear that.
So what pushed you toward acting? What made you say, you know what, I'm gonna try this acting thing, and what gave you insight?
Well, I said to myself, if Grizz could do that shit, anybody could do it. I'm like, my brother. You know what it was? It was the cobbler. It was the cobbler, man. It was just, it gave me a whole new love for the art, because I wasn't really taking it seriously up until that point. But the guy that I worked with, Tom McCarthy, another great director, he made it fun for me. And I would actually look forward to coming to work as opposed to, damn, I got to know these lines today and all. No, I was looking forward to coming to work. So, yeah, I mean, once that happened, and, the hip-hop thing wasn't moving the way myself and Redman thought it should be, a whole new crop of MCs came in. So those were the people that were getting the shows. The Little Waynes, all the littles was getting the shows. And we had to go overseas all the time just to make ends meet, or, you're forced to sit here and do shows for $10,000. Right. So after like my 6th time overseas that year, 6, you understand me? And we're not talking about 3 days, 4 days. We're talking about weeks at a time. So I'm saying to myself, I'm burnt out. I know I know that I can contribute way more to the entertainment business than this. When I get back, I'm going to go do the acting thing. I'm going to commit myself, no music, no nothing. I'm going to go sleep on my manager's couch. That's the dog's couch, by the way. Me and the dog on the couch.
Wow.
I did that for about 2 months. Took my classes. That's when I started on my gym journey. And once I got booked, it's been snowballing ever since then.
Well, now I don't feel so bad because I slept on a few couches myself. So if you can sleep on the couch, I can sleep on the couch too, and I can feel a lot better about myself by doing it, man.
Couches are underrated, bro. Most comfortable place in the house.
Yeah. I slept there a few times, but you know what? It was all worth it. When I look back on it, it put me through a different type of grind that you don't get just being home. You know what I'm saying? The comforts of your own home.
Yeah.
So I definitely understand where you're coming with that.
And honestly, Grizz, I had access. I'm in LA. I could have went to any hotel and stayed there the whole freaking time. Right. But this was a grind, and I just want the people who came before me, the people who have been doing this for years, the Denzels, and even at that level right there, I just want them to know that when I came in the door, the door was not open for me. I had to kick that motherfucker in. Let's just put it that way.
Well, I tell you one thing. I saw a difference in you between, because we did a few things together, and earlier on, I saw the difference when you showed up on the cobbler. You were totally focused, totally locked in.
Yeah.
And it was definitely good to see that you were taking that very, very seriously. And you made it that much more comfortable for me, because I was nervous I was nervous. You know what I'm saying? But you made it that much more comfortable for me. So
you good.
Thank you for that.
You were good, brother. Trust.
So I got a question. How was it working with Adam Sandler though?
Adam Sandler, I mean, he's so cool. Like, outside of that one scene we did together, we didn't have any scenes together, but he was there because he would have to transform into me. But he's the kind of dude that after work you can go have a beer with, like seriously. And he ball. He played ball. He really played ball.
Yeah, he's good.
I suck at basketball, so I was like, yeah, all right, white chocolate. I see. Facts.
That's what's up. So with the acting, right? You've done some voiceover work.
Yeah.
Have you considered like theater? Like if Broadway opens up again, would you be down to do that?
Funny, before this whole thing kicked in, I got a chance to kick it with the magnificent Billy Porter, and he would not take no for an answer for the play that he's doing. But then COVID hit, and I haven't heard anything since.
Right.
So we shall see. I mean, it was next. And I even told him, I was like, I don't know, I'm scared of that, man. Like, it's like, yo, B, don't you got to study the whole script? Like, please, we got months to do that. Don't worry, I'll take care of you. Like, all right, Billy.
You'll be fine though. It's the same nervousness and excitement that you would get before you hit the stage. You know what I'm saying? And the big thing with that is just knowing your line.
Well, it's funny because that's how I always approach everything anyway. Like right before I'm about to go on stage, because I always get butterflies.
Yeah.
Before I go on stage, and I remember, who did I speak to? Told me what that means. I think it might have been Paul Guilfoyle. When I did CSI, the original CSI, and he told me butterflies are growth.
Mm.
You know what I mean? When you get the butterflies, so I embrace them now. Yeah.
I always felt that the butterflies. Once I lose the butterflies, I'm stopping the whole thing. I don't.
Yeah, because that's it. It's
I don't want to do it no more.
Yeah,
I look for that. If I don't have that, I feel like it's something wrong. You know what I mean?
You know,
like
even men too, right?
Even like before this interview, if you ask her, I've been for the last 2 days, I've been going crazy there. Right,
that
shit go nuts though, man. And I couldn't even. But definitely, when you look at this, when we play it back, I'm gonna give you a hell of an intro. Trust me.
All right, that's all love. No worries. No worries. But I'm telling you, that's the process of getting old, especially when you're a man. You get a very short patience for everything. That's why we do shit in our old age, like model cars or try and put a boat together or some crazy shit like that, to keep sane. Because nothing can hold our attention for that long anymore. We've been there and we've done everything. Everything. Hey.
I thought that was an Aries thing.
Your spouse. Always good to have your spouse. They you live longer that way. Men who are married or have a significant other in their lives tend to live longer. Same thing with women.
Wow. That's what's up.
Companionship, baby. That's a jewel for y'all right there, man. Find somebody. Not just for the winter time either.
That's just cuffing season.
Thanks.
Oh man. So you have Wu-Tang Saga, right?
Yeah.
Dave East. How did you cook Dave East? Yo, this series is so fire.
Well, I'm gonna give it a buck. They only sent me 2 audition tapes. Give me an EP credit. I honestly, it's an EP credit, whatever. Anyway, because they couldn't get this thing done without, I'll leave it right there. Anyway, I got 2 audition tapes. One was one guy. He was very good. He was really good. You could tell he was seasoned. His audition tape was excellent. Then I watched Dave's, and Dave wasn't. You could tell he wasn't seasoned. You know what I'm saying? But what Dave did have was that New York shit in him. And I felt that when I seen his tape. It was like, that's New York. The other guy is good, but it's trained. It's not New York, and that's not me. I'm going with Dave East, and it was a great choice in hindsight because Dave embraced the character. He didn't embrace Method Man because honestly, that show isn't really. It's a fictional tale of Wu-Tang. So I gave Dave the green light to be Shotgun, not Method Man. You know what I mean? And whatever his interpretation of Shotgun is, let that be it. And people loved it, man. People loved it, you know? Except for the idiots that was like, hey, he don't sound like Method Man or look like Method Man. Like, don't be yourself.
You got something to say.
And dude from Moonlight don't look like RZA. All right?
We could go on and on about that one.
Right? And I honestly, I zoom out sometimes, and Dave sound like me sometimes, my dude. You know what I mean? Like, yo, I think, was that just me?
Well, I didn't know that much in depth into you guys earlier past, like, you know, like before the Wu, but I found it very interesting anyway. And I wanted to ask you how much of it was truth and how much was movie punch-ups. You know what I'm saying?
RZA is a genius. The majority of it is true with embellishments.
Okay.
You know, it's actual things that happen, but it happened either way earlier than he said or way later than what RZA put in the series, you know. And I would attribute it to, like, let's say you're the third person to hear about something tragic that happened in your neighborhood, but you're hearing it from a third person. So they're telling the story from a third person's view. They weren't actually there. It's what they heard. And a lot of the stuff that RZA puts in there, he wasn't actually there for. Things that he's heard, you know?
Right.
And that's why I say he's a genius, because working with what he had to work with, you know, everybody wasn't going to cooperate with the series. So he had to get and work with what he could work with, you know? That's probably why you haven't seen U-God yet, which you will probably in the second installment.
Well, I mean, it kind of made sense why he wasn't there, because I thought he was locked up, but not the whole time.
No, he wasn't. He was home for that.
But he should have been in there at least a little bit, you know?
Yeah, even with the lacrosse thing, I played lacrosse before I moved to Staten Island.
Okay.
You know, and I wasn't a teenager. I mean, I was preteen, let's put it that way. My last year playing lacrosse, I was 13 years old. They had me at like 16.
Okay.
You know? And I think that guy did an okay job. You know, he could have been a little bit more rougher around the edges. I told him to put some dirt on his face or something, man.
Well, then how did you get from Brooklyn to Long Island to Shaolin?
All right. Well, it started for me in Long Island. I was born there.
Okay.
My father's family was from the Bronx, so we would go back and forth to the Bronx, not Brooklyn. And it was crazy because I moved around a lot, bro. I moved around a lot, man. BX, right? I lived on it was 2001 University Avenue, a block away from the college.
Oh wow, yeah, I know that.
Buildings that look like the Carter, where you grew up in the courtyard right in the middle. Courtyard in the middle, 3 buildings attached to each other. Yeah, I lived in that middle building right there, and everybody right there on University and Burnside. Stop playing.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes, my sister had to take the train to school, and I went to that little school right there next to University. I forgot the name of it. Anyway, we moved from Long Island to Indiana because that's where my mother's family was at. From Indiana back to the Bronx. No, back to Long Island, then to the Bronx, then back to Indiana. Then we moved to Long Island again, left Long Island, went to Brooklyn. I didn't even get to Staten Island yet. We went to Brooklyn, then we went to the Bronx, then we wound up in Staten Island.
Okay, so you just threw me off with this one, but throughout all this moving around and jumping from place to place, and where did the music fit in all of this, and like when did this come into play?
The music was always there, but it's crazy because I didn't start rhyming until I moved back to Staten Island from Long Island, because my mother sent me back to Long Island to live with my pops and shit. But no, it was my second time coming back. What? No, yeah, my first time there, I lived in New Brighton as a youth. That's when I went to school with you remember that group, the UMCs?
Yes.
Not Hassan, the shorter one. Cool and me, Kim.
Okay.
That was my best friend in 3rd grade.
Nice.
You know what I mean? And Sal Masakela, who does the X Games, the only black guy that does it, he had the dreads in his hair and shit, talks like a surfer. He was in my class too. I have the class picture on my Instagram. Y'all can go check it. We moved back to Long Island with my dad from Staten Island to Long Island. We stayed there. Oh gosh, I stayed there until I was in junior high school. So when I came back to Staten Island, that's when I was introduced to these niggas rhyming. But I've always loved music. I just never did it myself, you know? And when I went up in that staircase at 13 years old, and I'm hearing people my age rhyme better than Slick Rick, I was like, shit. These niggas,
okay, so just to give the people a visual, the staircase is where? In Staten Island?
In Staten Island, in the staircase, in Park Hill Avenue, right? And when I say staircase, there's a space between the roof and the 6th floor. That's where we would be at rhyming, because you know, you got time to run. If the cops come from the roof, you hear the door, you can run. If they come from downstairs, you can hear them. You can run up on the roof, across the roof, down into the other staircase. So we studied.
I hung on in a few staircases. That was just what you did as a kid. You know what I mean? It was no more.
And that was our spots, you know. So if we ever caught anybody like, you know, dope fiends or crackheads trying to take a shit or a piss up there, man, we whoop their ass and shit. Like, nigga,
at that time, who were you rhyming with at that time?
It was the same cast of characters. Chef Ray was there, day one. Ugar was a beatbox then, he ain't even rhyme. And Kappa was the nicest one out of all of us, man. You know, I hadn't met RZA and them yet, but it was just us. You know, the guys I went to junior high school with, you know. But definitely Chef. Chef always been there. And Chef had me amazed because Chef, when I first went, it was just me, Chef, and somebody else, or RZ. RZ was a beatbox. And Chef was singing all these rhymes. I was like, yo, this nigga nice. Come to find out, ain't none of them rhymes was his. None of them. So check it, right? So now I'm in this staircase with these niggas every day. We smoking and shit. We kids though. You picture a 12-year-old doing grown folk shit all the fucking time, every day. We kids though. And you know, it get to a point where I write my first rhyme. My first rhyme I wrote was with Raekwon the Chef. And it was funny because I didn't even have a rhyming name yet. My name was still Cliff and shit.
Cliff the rapper.
And so, you know, it was called I'm on a Mission. And I was just trying to get down with they little rhyme crew, GBK. And guess who was the leader of GBK?
Who was the leader?
Capadonna, and he wouldn't let me in. He looked and said no. Like, no, that nigga ain't down. Hell no, he can't get down with GBK. But it's funny though, because after that, me and Kappa became even closer. And
how much older was Kappa than you at the time?
I think Cap like 2 years older than me, or a year and a half maybe. You know.
Okay, so he was the big boss.
Well, he was that dude known for that. You know what I'm saying? Plus, Cap always been Poppy Wardrobe King. He always dressed different than everybody else. You know what I mean? Like he dressed. That's what he did. And I always was amazed at their family because, like I said, we 12, 13 years old, but we going up in his house, smoking in his room, and his mother's there.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And that was unheard of. Like, you know, we had to find a place to smoke it. Then you had to go get some Visine and a peppermint ball, little 1 5-cent peppermint ball to throw in your mouth so your mom wouldn't smell weed on you. You know?
We did all that and they still smelled it.
They did. You're right. And you high too, ain't you, shotgun? You going to school tomorrow. Be like, man, whatever, man. Anyway. Anyway, shit, after all this rhyming and shit, right? I only had that one rhyme though. And then my mom's got tired of my ass, sent me to live with my father. Back to Long Island again. So now I'm in Long Island, but I got all these rhymes that aren't mine. I know them by heart though, because we did this shit every day. You gotta understand. We talking 7, 8, 9, 10 months every day. Same rhymes. Sometimes a new one here and there. You know? So when I got to Long Island, all them rhymes they were saying became my rhymes, and I was the nastiest nigga around the way. But then it came to this point where, you know, the rhymes got old and I had to start writing. That's when it really took off for me. So by the time I got back to Staten Island, I was nasty on the mic. You know what I mean? I was ready to battle everybody. It was known that I was nasty on the mic. And then my mother did the dummy move and sent my ass to motherfucking Indiana again.
Again.
Except I went by myself this time. I went by myself.
And now, you know, now what are you doing in Indiana?
Nothing. Trying to get in school. My record was so bad. I was so truant that they couldn't even, I mean, I don't even think I had a GPA, bro. You know, my first year of high school, I think I went to school out that whole school year, maybe 2 weeks.
No.
Hold down for a second.
No. I take that back. I take that back. No, I give it about 2 months. 2 months.
2 months.
But the days that I did go, we wouldn't stay because I had third period lunch. That's like 10,
well, third period lunch.
That's like
the day is done.
You know what I'm saying? So right after homeroom, we going right to lunch. And I used to just walk right out the door because the school was big. So, you know, we had West Wing, South Wing, East Wing, North Wing. I used to go right out the East Wing. Right
Get out anywhere.
Gone. And ain't nobody give a fuck. And we had this one security guard, Gus. Everybody remember Gus. He was a nice dude, but he used to stare a little bit too hard at them little teenage white girls. And Gus was a little short black man with a jerry curl.
Trouble.
Shout out to Gus. He was cool though. But very truant. So when I'm in Indiana, they, you know, we can't get any records. They can't get it. Basically, I sat on my ass for a whole year in Indiana, and then my aunt got tired of me and sent me back because I'm a New York kid. By this time, man, I done smoked and all this, and I'm in Indiana. They barely got sidewalks out this bitch.
And you couldn't find a good bud.
I couldn't get anywhere. I was off trees by then. Bro, I was smoking cigarettes, right? They don't sell Newports. Well, they probably do now, but they didn't sell Newports in Indiana back then. I had to smoke Cools. You know what Cools taste? No, you probably don't. But that shit was horrible, see? I should have just smoked like, smoking one Cool is like smoking 5 Newports at once. Facts.
That's horrible.
Right? So then my aunt get tired of my black ass. She tired of me. Like, this nigga here, man. I know why his mother sent his ass out here. She sends me back. Now I'm back.
Oh, man.
And I'm worse than ever. No, I won't say worse than ever. I was determined to get a job, and that's exactly what I did. I went and got me a job. But once I lost my job, and me and moms was falling out, and I ain't want to abide by her rules. I'm grown. I ain't got no goddamn rules. I'm like, I don't know. It was just time to go.
So that's when time to go. Statue of Liberty?
Huh?
That's when you was working at the Statue of Liberty?
Yeah. And I tried it on my own. I tell you, like 3 days later, I was back at the crib. I tried it. Hey, I tried it. I was back at the crib. And then a few other times where, you know, because she moved out of my old neighborhood way into another neighborhood. So every now and then, I would have to take like 2 buses just to get to my old neighborhood. And I would stay too late. Let's just put it that way. And instead of having to hop on the bus and travel another hour back home, I would just stay the night at somebody's house. And then I stayed the night at somebody else. This turned into a month, then 2 months. And I just never went back home.
Wow.
So during this time, is RZA trying to mastermind getting you guys together? Because I know Ghostface was living in a different part, right? He was from
Stapleton. But no, RZA was always a constant. You gotta understand, Staten Island's so small, you still see everybody every day. And RZA was always a constant. You know, I always liked RZA because when I hung around RZA know how to get free shit. You know? And what I mean by free shit is I ain't work like we ain't pay for cabs. Okay, y'all know
That's
how
a good hookup.
what it is, right? We ain't pay for train, and we didn't pay to get in parties. He always knew somebody in the fucking industry, always. And I knew that if I'm hanging with RZA, anytime I hung with RZA, I seen a different star. So this was that dude right here. You know what I mean? I remember my first time seeing we got to some club with M.E.T.H.O.D Man. And we get up to the second floor and we in the VIP. And this is my first time around any stars. And I remember seeing Jungle Brothers, Moni Love, and Latifah sitting at a table in the VIP. And I'll never forget this because Latifah was smoking a cigarette. And I was like, wow, Latifah smokes cigarettes.
The little things that stand out.
I mean, I was like, what, 16, 17? Yeah, about 16, 17 and shit. So I'm just looking like amazing. You know what I'm saying? And in Africa, I kind of kicked it with him a little bit, but I was looking at his hands and his nails was super duper fucking clean. I remember that. Like, that nigga was clean. Like, this nigga clean. Jungle Brothers. Straight out the jungle. This nigga clean as fuck.
No dirt.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So from that day forth, and I don't know why that even popped in my head, but from that day forth, I keep my shit clean. I don't play that dirty nail shit. For real.
That's good.
Yeah, damn right. But what part of the story was I at? Jesus. Okay. Right, but
we were at the
RZA was always around. And as far as the idea of the Wu-Tang, it's funny because Wu-Tang was just supposed to be himself, GZA, and Old Dirty Bastard. Wow. That was supposed to be Wu-Tang. And the Protect Your Neck song was supposed to be a posse cut that they did with their boys from around the way. A symphony. That's what we used to call them, because when Marley Marl did the symphony with all those different people on that record, that's what hip-hop decided to call those kind of records. Instead of calling them a posse cut, we used to call them symphonies. And, that's why it was the $100 and you get on. Not saying anybody could have walked in there with $100 and got on. No. The niggas we fuck with. If you got $100, you can get on this motherfucking record.
Okay.
And, we went through, and it wasn't that simple. I don't want it to make it seem like, he put out a fucking flyer saying, give $100, get on the record. No. He went to his specific niggas that was always in the crib at 7 Paroy, rhyming. He told us. And he said $100 will definitely help to pay for the studio time.
So that was the best $100 you ever had?
Yeah, best $100 I ever invested in my life. We was hustling in anyway. That was what? Fucking couple of sales and shit. Well, and from there, I think the epiphany, because honestly, him and Ghost was Wu-Tang at first. Oh. Then they had a group in Stapleton called Wu-Tang, right? Because that was RZA, because RZA was living there. Then RZA gave me and U-God the name Wu-Tang for like a week. I shit you not, man. And then he came with the idea after we did that record, I believe. He saw that it was getting a lot of traction, and he was like, yo, God, as opposed to us just being me, you, and Unique, we should just come in with everybody and rush the door like that. What you think? Yeah. Yeah. And honestly, I don't think GZA was with it at first, He was skeptic more than anybody else, but I mean, you can't blame him. He had a record deal already, so he knew a little bit more than the rest of us did. So he was more on the pessimistic side than optimistic side, but he trusted his cousin. He trusted his cousin enough that when RZA wanted to sign paperwork with GZA said, nah, we family. I ain't signing nothing. We good. And from there, I mean, the rest is freaking history. We went from, shooting a low budget video for 2 weeks because we can only shoot for a certain amount of time because the video director we was working with that nigga was a nutcase, man.
Do you remember performing at the Showboat?
Yeah, they shot that bitch up.
Yeah, I was there that night. I was there that night. That's when I first got the Protect Your Neck with the swords on it.
Yeah.
The man was on the B side.
Yeah.
I got it that night.
That was an evil fucking place right there, man.
It was.
Very evil, bro. And
GB, or what was the promoter? GB or something like that? GB was the worst.
yeah. Yes.
GB, he was the worst.
Fuck that dude.
I didn't want to say that, but
no, it's all love. GB, if you listening, man, it's all love, man. Fuck you, pal.
So when those two songs came out, did you think that those two songs was going to take you guys to the next level?
Okay, to answer your question about did we know, I don't know. Honestly, I didn't care. I just knew that we was different, and I felt like we was better than everybody else. So even if we didn't hit, though the moments where we were doing shows or doing promo was a moment I didn't have to be on the block hustling, and I loved every minute of it. Mm-hmm. Every minute. I remember when Maddie C from The Source,
yeah,
him and Scott Free, Maddie came to interview us. I think he came to interview us. I don't know. That was the night we took the pictures we had on the North Face rain suits and shit, and I'm stooping down lighting the blunt. We was actually still selling drugs then, man. Like, I had to actually go make a sale in the middle of a motherfucking answer and shit, you know? So it was definitely real and shit. Products of our fucking environment. And I mean, honestly, we was getting $35 a piece at these shows. But I didn't care. I was doing something I loved to do. And when it did hit, you know what? I'm going to say yes. I knew that the tri-state was going to love it. I just my mind didn't think outside of that at all. And when it started to trickle outside of those three states, it was a bit of a kick in the head. It was unexpected, like a motherfucker, man, for real.
So at what point did you stop making money? Because I know Method Man, and then you had an album. When did you guys start making, or at least you? When your finances changed a little bit?
It changed after I dropped All I Need. You know, I had to fucking tell my manager and shit, because his big head ass, I'm getting fucking 25 shows a week, and I'm looking at this nigga like, Mook, you don't see why I'm getting all these motherfucking shows? Nigga got a hit record, and you only charging him $2,500 a show.
Nah,
nigga, raise the price. Raise the fucking price.
Wow.
Once that price raised, I seen it go from clubs to from bars to clubs to arenas to stadiums.
Okay. So
it was a great ride, you know. I mean,
two good points to that story. One, you gotta be patient, trust the process, and never undersell yourself.
Word. And the crazy shit is Wu-Tang did not go platinum until after my single went platinum. Okay. My solo single went platinum.
How did that record come about with you and Mary being that RZA kind of wanted to keep everything in house?
That's like
Leo really pushed for it once he heard the song. Okay. He really pushed for that record, and I held them off, man. I held them off for 2 videos. That's why I got Bring the Pain and Release Your Delve. And then I said, fuck it, man. Y'all give me $50,000, I'll do it. Y'all paid me to put my own record out and shit, right? And Leo, being the smart guy that he was, they gave it to me. They gave it to me. And I was going to go spend the shit on the car. I'm glad I didn't. I invested it.
That's what's up. So you had no idea that would be like the hood wedding anthem love song?
No, I thought it made me look like a sucker.
No.
Word. Because, you know, I put that record on there. That's why the words are the way they are. Because I do wear my heart on my sleeve. Like one of them hopeless romantics and shit. I could be as romantic as anybody else. But when you have this hard exterior that you have to keep on, especially in the game in the 90s, because a lot of dudes was very cutthroat and disrespectful in the 90s, and you would have to smack somebody in their face. But one of my favorite hip-hop songs ever was I Need Love by LL Cool J.
I was about to say, LL Cool J had that.
But I didn't like the song until he performed the shit on the Apollo, and I seen the reaction he got.
Oh,
and I was like, wow, that's it. That's it. Yeah. After that, it was like, yo, that's my record, nigga. So I always, and being the fact that I grew up in a household full of women, I always thought of myself as someone who could, you know, speak their language.
Yeah.
You know, and but not from a roof perspective, but from a respectable level. Shit, my sister whooped my ass all the way up to when I was 13 years old, B. So I know the power of a woman, the strength of a woman. I know how powerful they is and shit. So my shit always came from a place of respect first and foremost, and just get it. I'm one of those dudes that just get it, man. I don't know. You know what I mean? I ain't yanking my own chain either. That's real talk. That is real talk. A nigga couldn't jump double dutch, but I knew how to turn the rope, nigga.
Oh, see, you a rider.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
That's best friendship.
I was one of them boys that never had to ask a girl to be his girlfriend, like type thing. Like they would just be like, "You my boyfriend."
Right.
I was like, all right, okay, all right, that's what it is, dude. Up until the day I wasn't, all right, and then when I wasn't, it was like, all right, fuck. Pardon me. We going way off on some other shit. But yeah, that song did a lot for my career, and when Leo wanted it done, you know, he brought Puffy in because I'm guessing Puffy had the great relationship with Mary off top.
Right.
And I had previously met Mary about a month before that at Puffy's birthday party at Roseland. So I knew it would be a good chance that she would do the record, but I didn't want to be the one to ask because loved her so much. I would hate to have her tell me no and me feel some kind of way about it. Right, I probably wouldn't have. Yeah, I probably wouldn't have anyway, but yeah, I probably would have felt a little something.
So when you wrote the record, you wrote it with her in mind?
No, I wrote that record with my wife in mind.
Okay.
She was laying right next to me when I wrote that shit. And it was her first time on a plane coming to Cali, so they did that for me, the label, because while Wu-Tang was out on the road promoting Wu-Tang, I was doing my album on the road while promoting Wu-Tang. So what that day would look like, early in the morning, we're up, we're going to do some morning radio show, right? We're on there. From that, we go to another morning radio show. From there, if time permits, we go have some kind of lunch real fast. From there, we would go to an in-store. We would go from an in-store to a distribution place. From a distribution place, we had to do that night radio to promote the show we were having that night. By the time we get through with all that radio and crap like that, you go back to your hotel, wash it behind, get dressed, time for the show. You do the show. Once we were done with the show, say about 1, 2 in the morning, while they were going back to their rooms to go to sleep, me and Riz were on our way to whatever random studio was open in that part of town. And some places had like rats and shit in these motherfuckers, you know what I mean? The studio that I liked the most that I recorded in was in San Francisco because I ran into one of the lead singers from Troop up in there, cool ass. I was like, yo,
Troop, my wing.
I didn't even know the nigga name. When I got back to where we were staying at shit, I was like, nigga, I met Troop last night, nigga. You know, one of them niggas, but I met Troop last night, nigga. It was good.
Well, for all that running around, I tell you one thing, you made a hell of a project, man.
Thank you, brother. I had to work extra hard on it because all the information got lost in the flood. Yeah.
Wow.
So regardless to how people feel about that album, they can say it's the worst album out of all the solo projects that they want. But if they knew the process by which it was made,
who said that?
I'm the GOAT. You know what I mean? Fuck that.
Somebody said that about the cow?
Let me smell my fucking roses.
Somebody said that about the cow?
Well, you know, yeah, but you know what? I'm gonna keep it a buck. I'm the one that put it out there like that. Okay. I said it first. I put it in the universe, and next thing I know, it snowballed. And this is before social media. So you got fucking people reviewing albums or people speaking about Wu-Tang, and it could be about the whole crew, but they make sure they throw that little sentence up in there and shit.
Right.
Method Man, who had the worst solo album out the whole crew. RZA, oh dirty bastard. You know what I mean? It's like yourself. But once you know the power of the word and how it travels and shit like that, now I see why when I used to sit around the fellas and they used to be like, man, we the best out of everybody, man. We fuck everybody. And Dirty used to be like, Wu-Tang rocks the world and we the best. Look what happened. Because I was sitting there like, y'all niggas is out y'all fucking mind. We sold like 3 records, nigga. Fuck y'all talking about right now.
Listen, you ain't got talent, nothing.
Fuck y'all mean, we ain't did shit. And come to and showing up, niggas was right. They put it in the universe,
Yeah.
and it happened, man. And I'm not talking about The Secret, that old janky ass book, everybody in their feelings and shit. Like, yes, I'm gonna have the car and the mansion and the yacht. Yes. And 50 years later, your ass still eating top ramen and your motherfucking walk up. Stop playing.
You gotta say it and do the work.
You know what I'm saying?
Combo.
Right. They didn't tell you that was part of the secret. You got to actually do the work, motherfucker. Word.
Oh man! So you collab with Mary, you collab with all these dope people, right? So you are one of few that have gotten a chance to collab with both Biggie and Tupac. So how was that?
That happened. I don't know how that happened. I mean, Biggie approached me like man to man outside the Mutes. And my boy Ray the Ruckus had put me on his music prior to me meeting him anyway. It was me and my bitch. She was like, if you do a record with anybody, do it with this nigga. Then Ruckus got locked up. So, you know, that was always in my head.
Right.
And my boy Dan Smalls. And this was the night I met Guru. We was at some, you know, they used to do those rap conventions. Jack the Rapper, How Can I Be Down? I forgot the one. New Music Seminar in New York. We had New Music Seminar, except this was in Jersey. They did something in Jersey. Atlantic City. So we out there. I met Guru that night, and I remember running into Dan Smalls. This nigga used to work at the Statue with me. I'm amazed that his ass is even, you know what I mean? What are you doing here, dude? But come to think of it, he was always great at ass kissing at the job. No, I'll take that back. He was always ambitious at work at the Statue. So he made me be in there. I had been there 3 years, and I still wasn't assistant manager. He was there 3 weeks and made assistant. So that'll tell you his work ethic right there. Anyway, long story longer, he gives me this CD. It's the Uptown MCA soundtrack to Who's the Man? Uptown MCA. This was not Bad Boy yet. And there was a song on there called Party and Bullshit.
Yeah.
He said, listen to this song. This is my man Biggie. He next. I listened to the record. The beat was banging. Son was killing it. And the reason why I'm bringing up this story is because that night at the Muse, when he actually approached me, he performed that song at the Muse, and they killed it that night. They put it in the movie. What they failed to put in the movie was that I was there too, motherfucker. All right, so he's performing, and I forgot this part was in there where the song breaks down, you know, and the fucking fight broke out, right? I forgot that part was there. And, you know, mics are distorted sometimes where you can't always hear the words somebody said. These niggas start fighting on stage. I'm like, oh shit, party fucking over. I forgot that part was in the record. Then the music come back on. Not only did the whole crowd go bonkers, I did exactly what you did, Grizz. Like this.
And that's it.
He caught me with that one. Seen son outside the club that night. He approached, was like, yeah, you know, we see what happens and shit. And Tracy Waples, who got me my deal at Def Jam, was good friends with Puffy. She had to come and steal me. Like, I snuck to go do that record because, like you said, Grizz, RZA didn't want us spreading the love. We were new. So we were keeping the money in the house until we can get some money. So we didn't want to spread the love and give somebody else some money.
Right.
My crazy ass went and snuck and did the record anyway. I'm glad I did, though. I'm glad I did.
We all are.
Yeah, word. And I was snuck to go do How High. I snuck to go do that How High record with Redman. I was supposed to get another video.
What?
Yeah, and I snuck to go do it. I said, fuck it, I ain't telling nobody shit. I'm going to do it. Word. So, you know, it was what it was. And I'm grateful I did both of them because one of them, I was the only feature on that album. The other one, shit, I got a movie out that bitch. But the Tupac record was a bit more different. Because every time I went to LA, I hooked up with Snoop.
Okay.
Every time I went to LA, Snoop. Or the Dog Pound. And when they came to New York, same deal. This shit was so crazy. My first car was a 4Runner.
Okay.
And I had the Dog Pound and Snoop Dogg in my motherfucking 4Runner, leaving the New Music Seminar in my 4Runner. These niggas sitting in the back, no seats, going uptown to the weed gate.
To the gate.
And Snoop, and they just with me. There ain't nobody else there. No security, nothing. Nothing at all.
Wow.
Snoop gets out the car with me. We go inside to the gate, and you know, this is New York shit. It's some real New York shit. Dread don't open the door. Dread be like, what I want, right? You got to put your money in a slot, and then they put your weed through a slot, and you go about your motherfucking way. So I'm telling the Dread, I'm like, the Dread look through the shit. He see Snoop. This nigga open the door. Snoop will tell you his goddamn stuff. This nigga open. I had never been in this gate before, ever. I've been going there for years. This nigga never opened the door for me. He opens the door, lets us both up in the spot. Yo, like, wasn't no living room furniture, none of that shit. We wasn't in the back room, though. The back room could have beds and all. He had like 5 or 6 kids running around this motherfucker and shit. You know what I mean? And the weed is just right there in the motherfucking kitchen and shit. No dining room table, nothing. No furniture whatsoever in this bitch. And it's all a straight ganja up in this motherfucker. Nigga sells, you know, gives us the weed, sells us the weed and shit. You know, he bigging up Snoop and all this shit. I leave and shit, and I tell Snoop, that nigga never did that before. I don't think he believe me, though. I don't think he believe me and shit. But anyway, the Tupac shit. So, you know, I'm hanging out with these niggas. Dog Pound, and Daz came and scooped me up that day from the M.E.T.H.O.D hotel. Remember that piece of shit ass hotel? That's where Arsenio Hall guests used to stay at. He used to put all of us in there. We tore that fucking hotel up. I feel bad for them. We fucked that hotel up. Oh my! I mean, we fucked that hotel. We used to do wild shit in that fucking hotel. Anyway. They come scoop me, Dad's and shit. His wife done cooked and all that shit. So we had his crib. It's daylight, you know, it's a nice crib too and shit. We in the studio in the basement. Niggas smoking, writing, and we did the record. Rage was there, because Rage was originally on the record, and Inspector Deck was there also. He was originally on the record. We do the song and shit. I ain't thinking nothing of it, you know. We smoking, whatever. Niggas bring me back to my room. I say Tupac, all this shit with Tupac start happening now. All this crazy shit with Tupac and all this shit. I go in the Wu-Wear store one day. New music by Tupac. Boom, boom. I'm like, oh shit, that shit sound familiar. Okay. Next thing I know, I'm like, I hear Dad's verse. I'm like, oh no, these niggas did. Oh shit. You know, it's more ignorant niggas than smart niggas and shit. So I'm thinking like, oh, the East Coast gonna feel like I fucking betrayed niggas or some shit, right? But they never thought that. Niggas never felt that way and shit.
Right.
And I was cool with that too, because for some reason, Wu-Tang, that shit went over us. That East Coast, West Coast shit, that shit went over us. Nobody ever, and that should let people know that it wasn't an East Coast, West Coast thing right there. Right. It was those individuals against those individuals. Yeah. And that was it. You know what I mean? Even Snoop got caught up in that shit because he said that they was his homeboys. And look what happened to him. You seen All Eyes on Me movie, right?
Yeah.
See how they in Elliot? I don't know if that shit true or not, but that shit was fucked up right there. I tell you one thing, Wu-Tang never did that shit to me, man. And I used to speak to Biggie all the fucking time, even if certain individuals, nobody had a problem with it, in my opinion. You know, I think Ray and Ghost, that shit was, I don't know what the fuck that was. Ray and Ghost just fucked with everybody back then. I don't know what they vibe was back then. Yeah, it's just some nigga shit. But niggas didn't hate him. I know that for a fact, because niggas didn't even speak on him and shit like that. Maybe Ray would say some shit every now and then and shit. But anytime we were all together, I could see it in Big Face that he wanted to speak to niggas and shit, but his pride would not allow him to do that. And I wouldn't have advised him to do that anyway, because my niggas was goons back then. And they probably would have made him feel real fucked up. But I always, whenever I spotted him, I would always go over to him. What's good, Big? And it wasn't just a what's good. We kick it. Like, what's happening? Caesar Lee Ortega, because Caesar's always with him and shit. That's just my man. And I remember explaining to him he didn't even ask me, but I explained to him how the Tupac record came about. And, you know, it was what it was and shit, because I considered him a friend, because we actually hung out, you know what I mean? I hadn't even met Pac when that record came out, you dig? And by the time I met Pac, it was Soul Train Awards. And I don't know. He was already, you know, like, you know, on his other wave and shit.
Right.
Yeah, but, you know, all in all, the records, they did what they did. And I didn't know Bone Thugs also did records with Tupac and Biggie.
They did, yeah.
But it was something else I did. It don't matter. It don't fucking matter. At the end of the day, man, people got a great era of music, the 90s and shit, you know? And even beyond the 90s, because 2000s, we got Cash Money and Nelly and, you know what I mean? A lot of fucking dope artists was coming out in the 2000s and shit. And I don't think we lost our way along the way. I just think that the kids said, you know what? We could do this a little bit differently. We ain't gonna say better, but we're gonna do it a little bit different.
Right.
And we're not gonna focus as much on lyricism, which is a record label's fucking dream right there, because they couldn't have an industry full of public enemies.
Right.
That consciousness right there, brothers was gonna start asking sooner or later, like, fuck royalties, can we have our masters? You know what I mean? Get the masters.
So what do you think about hip hop now? Where is it now?
I think that it's coming around. What they lacked in lyricism and content, they definitely gained in business savvy.
Yeah.
So I applaud that. I applaud excellence, period, on every level. You know what I mean? I don't necessarily agree with all the music, but what I've been hearing lately in this era now, I mean, in the past 2 years, some great music has been coming out from some of these kids, man, and then some of them rapping. We got to join the Lucas, join the rapping. Joey Badass been around, but he rap. You know, it's a lot of these kids, man, and that Roddy Ricch is amazing to me. Roddy Ricch is amazing.
I'm definitely feeling Little Baby and Griselda.
Griselda is my G's. Love those guys, man. They remind me of us, so that's a no-brainer. Lil Baby, I don't know about Lil Baby music. Baby though, Baby, I like his shit. I heard his shit. That nigga can rhyme. He can rhyme.
Yeah, but you can check out Lil Baby. He got some shit. He definitely
Lil Baby.
Yeah, Lil Baby.
He don't do that sensitive Drake rap, right?
No.
I like Drake too. Drake getting his sensitive bag though. Can't nobody fuck with Drake in his sensitive bag. Straight up, man.
You be on this.
If you're reading this, then it's too late. Come on, bro. That's Drake in his sensitive bag. He talked to these women, man. I'm pretty sure he grew up. He the same. He like me. He grew up around these chicks. He speak the language, man. Speak the language, Mike. I want to get in your sensitivity bag, bro.
Right, the ladies is buying the albums and doing all the streaming.
Hell yeah, but then later on down the line, when the next hard chocolate nigga come out, they're gonna be like, Drake with all that sensitive shit need to get the fuck out of here, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Balance.
But it's levels to this shit, right? Y'all do that shit too and shit. I remember when women was like, keep sweat, and then 8 years later, it's like, oh, here go this nigga whining on records. What you whining about now, Keith? Bet you wish you had to keep sweat now, don't you? Sweat is a legend too. Keith Sweat a legend, B. Word. Man. See, she didn't know, Grizz. She ain't know. Shaunie didn't know. You knew though. You knew.
I knew.
Shade, B.
Wow. Oh man. But you know, it's funny, like Keith Sweat, he's still relevant.
Yeah.
I wouldn't take it. Like, how do you artists, like, you've been around for a while, how do you stay current?
Just for men hair dye. No, fucking. You know what it is? I think the busier you stay, long as people can still see you, they view that as a success. Yeah. For me, success to me is waking up and going to bed happy every day. That's a successful day for me, man. If I'm happy at the end of the day, whew, yes. I did that. Word. And I wish that for everybody in the world, man. For real. There's no feeling like that in the world, man. And they come in moments. It's not every day. Right. You had the moments, cherish them.
Yeah, that's true.
Definitely.
So you have you seem like you're just a very genuine, authentic person. So hence you being friends with Redman, y'all are like brothers, right?
Yeah.
So how is that relation? Like, you seem to support each other in everything. Like, is that hard to find in the industry? Like somebody that's just that authentic, like somebody you connect with like that?
People, the short answer is yes, but really a lot of I get treated. It's hard for me to say because I get treated differently because I'm actually in the industry. But I've seen both sides of it. Whereas when they think you're on top, the attention you get, and then when they think that you're on your way out, that attention you get. I've seen both sides of it. And the people that changed up when the attention started going away, I already felt that way about them anyway. So it didn't matter to me. And the people that were I felt is genuine and were genuine as friends, they still around. The Busters, the Talib Kwalis, the Most Defs, the MC Lights, Latifahs, they still around. When they see, they know what it is.
That's what's up. I love how a lot of, well, not every rapper can do it, but the transition into acting, like so many of you have done it. It's done it well. You, Queen Latifah, Ice-T, Ice Cube, like you all have this.
Luda, Carmen,
yeah.
Most Def is trained.
Yes.
He's good. He's trained though. He's definitely trained. I mean, the funny thing is, them acting motherfuckers trying to do rap records and shit. For real, I seen a couple of child stars, man. I couldn't even recognize these niggas. Niggas got tattoos and shit all up and down his neck. Wait, the nigga from Are We There Yet? I think it was one of them, that little nigga. Like,
yeah, one of them dudes.
I think his name is I'll Kill Your Mama Loke now and shit like that. I'll kill your whole family ass Loke. He
got tattoos all over his face.
Yeah, it's like, nigga, I mean, if you want to, shed the Disney Channel shit, there's other ways of doing that. You know what I mean? Grow a beard, maybe. You know what I'm saying? Grow a beard.
Baby steps.
Baby steps, you went right to fucking Offset. Off top.
Yeah.
You went from fucking Lizzie McGuire to fucking Lil Wayne, nigga. How you do that? Where they do that at? Nah, I ain't gonna take nothing away from Shorty though. Let me stop and shit, man. I'm just having jokes. That's all and shit. Do what you feel is real, but it's funny because in the whole industry, who has the best groupies? I mean, you got the movie and television business, right? Those dudes are usually married. Then you got sports, right? They got some pretty wild groupies.
Yeah.
But only one of the sports gets the most, and that's basketball, because they actually show their faces. Baseball, they get a bunch of weirdos and shit, whatever. Football, strippers all day. But in the whole industry, entertainment industry, the best groupies are music industry groupies.
Yeah.
I mean, some of the stories some of the rock bands could tell you about just chicks that they just brought on the road specifically for that. Yeah. And not to mention Madonna. Shit, Madonna has some groupies, B. You know what I'm saying? Yo, she's still dipping. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I don't keep an eye on my boy, she probably be dating one of them niggas.
And she like him young.
And she still got it. Madonna don't look bad for her age. You know what I'm saying? She may have a few things that are a little harder here and there, but she still looks good in my opinion. Music, man. Music forever and ever and ever and ever. Women were actually in love with Biggie.
Yeah.
And I'm not taking nothing away from Big, you know what I'm saying? Because the nigga was always clean, presented himself very well, but he made it cool for fat niggas to get cute women.
Yeah.
I'm serious, man. The same way ugly niggas from the 70s was getting them bad Pam Greers and all that. You like, this ugly ass nigga? They didn't even have shape-ups back then, blood. The beard game was crazy. The hair game was crazy. It's like, really, nigga? Right? That's why they lost their mind when they got a Max Julian or a Glenn Thurman, Fred the Hammer Williamson. You know what I mean? Before that, it was Yaphet Kotto, nigga. Oh man, let me stop this shit, because we all know brother Sidney Poitier laid it down for a lot of men to be leading, attractive leading men. Yes, black men. Yes.
Yes.
Keep it a buck.
One of my favorites.
Yes, sir. Mine too. Him and I also dug Cesar Romero also, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I loved him when he played Danny Glover's father in what was it? Color Purple.
Mm.
That's his name, right? That's Cesar Romero, right? I got it right?
I believe so. Yep. That's definitely a great Google question.
I gotta go. If I got it wrong, pardon me, y'all, but y'all know who the fuck I mean, though.
I'm gonna look right now. So quickly, tell us, how did you meet Redman? And because she touched on a little bit about the relationship, but where did you guys meet? And to this point where y'all so close. I know a lot of people know it, but
me and Doc met each other at a crisscross listening party. That crisscross wasn't even that, nigga. Like we walked up in
You too young?
they would rent a room in a hotel, one of those boardrooms. They would set up some chips and dip, have a bunch of freaking reporters and stuff in there, or magazine people in there with some Kool-Aid, maybe a piece of chicken or something, and they would play the album on loop without the all being there. That's when you're too big for yourself and your album's not going to do well. You need to show up to them things. Anyway, myself and Redman happened to be in the same space, go figure, on the same label, so they made sure we were there. Actually, Nas was there too. Nas was there, Big L. A few people came through that day. That was the first time I met Nas too. And that's where that picture came from. Where me and Doc standing there. Doc got on the green army jacket. I got on I got a fork in my mouth, I think. A plastic fork in my mouth with a New York Met hat on. And then there's another picture with us with Nas. That was at that Criss Cross album release party. And that's where I met that nigga. And he was he was mean. Not to me though, but just, he had an aura about himself, like I'll fuck you up. Because he's big then. He's more heavy set then. Him and Twins, when they came in the room, because Twins was heavy too. It was like, yeah, these niggas will fuck something up. Like they hurt somebody and shit.
He was DJing too at the time. He was a DJ at the time too.
Yeah, he was. He was a DJ for Das Effects.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Adolfo Caesar.
Huh?
Adolfo Caesar.
Yeah, I'm sorry I got his name wrong. I said Cesar Romero. That's the nigga played the fucking Joker on Batman.
Yeah.
In the whole series.
That's all right. We
don't even know.
We still gave it up to him. We gave him respect. I Googled it and we
I respect Cesar Romero too. But yeah, what is it?
Adolfo Caesar.
Adolfo Caesar. I knew one of them names was right.
Yeah, the Caesar right.
Phenomenal though, man. Very, very, very good at what he does, man. Yeah.
So Redman, go ahead.
Yeah, Shaunie. Nope.
So I just say, because this is like, for me, Redman is so funny. He's so talented. And I remember, I don't know if the kids know about MTV Cribs.
Yeah.
But Redman has the most iconic MTV Cribs episode ever. What was your reaction when you saw it?
I wasn't surprised. I've been in that spot before. That's just one of the spots he got and shit. You know what I'm saying? And he was actually, here's the real story. He got into the fixer-upper game. Okay. So he would buy properties, fix them up, rent them out. That was one of the spots that he bought, which is in my old neighborhood. Imagine that. Right? He was fixing it up, and it just became the spot. He was like, fuck it, I'm going to stay. Built the studio up in there and shit, and it became his little spot. He owns it. He owns it. That's his little, but that ain't the crib, but it was like when I think knowing the kind of character Redman has, he could have took him to his real house, but when they offered him a mansion to fake it in, he was like, you know what? Fuck these motherfuckers. I'm about to do something totally off script. Y'all want to do cribs with me? Come to my real crib, nigga. And had them come to that spot. And he probably already knew what he was going to say when they walked up in there, but he's good with improv off the top of his head. A lot of How High movie was a lot of improv in there here and there. When he was describing that shit, that's him. That's him all day. The way that's him. I mean, if you could just, I wouldn't even say a reality show. You just need to turn the camera on 24 hours like CCTV and just let that shit watch this nigga, man. He's hilarious, man. He getting the random fucking drag races on the highways with people he don't even know. And I don't know, it'd be like they be knowing what time it is. They don't say shit to each other. They don't say nothing. Somebody be like, bang, bang, a little step on the gas. The other person will look at him. He'll look at them. Next thing you know, they taking off. And then he'll get on his Instagram and say, yo, if that was you in the little yellow Toyota Corolla with the dice in the mirror, I blew your fucking doors off. What? On his IG Live, Red is a character, man. I love that nigga, man. Like, I love it. Yo, I'll snuff Jesus for him. You know what I'm saying? That kind of thing. Like, I would snuff Jesus for him, like, for real.
I love it.
Who would you collaborate?
That should be the tagline for the fucking podcast. I would snuff Jesus for him.
Whoa.
Facts. Be like, who?
Method Man says he'll put Jesus for Redman.
Be like, who did it, Doc? Who? This nigga?
Sandals. You know, man, in sandals.
Like, who the nigga over there with the fucking with the Birkenstocks on, nigga?
Homie with the slippers.
Talking about JC?
Homie right there with the
shit
slippers.
out of JC right
Nah.
Word. All right, let's not get in trouble with shit.
Man, let's not get in trouble.
Oh, man.
All right, so who would you like to collab with that you haven't collabed with already, dead or alive?
Dead or alive? Shit, I would have loved to collab with Michael Jackson, man, because just to have that on the resume alone. And I mean, the era that I came from, you from that same era, you know, little Michael Jackson was like, we all want to be little fucking Michael Jackson. Like, shit, this kid lived the best life, not knowing in hindsight all the shit he had to go through to maintain his status or whatever and shit. But yeah, man, Mike over everything, and maybe Hall & Oates.
Nice.
I liked a lot of their music, man. And you know, when I got into Indiana, they wasn't playing. We didn't have video music box, hot tracks, none of that shit, nigga. We ain't had no video jukebox, nothing and shit. So I had to watch what was on there. Whatever video channels they had, and I was getting a lot of Bon Jovi and Gregory Abbott. You on my mind, girl, I wanna shake it down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was in love with that nigga. I was in love with that high yellow green eyed nigga. She was in love with that dude, man.
So didn't they give you a little
Battlefield? You know what I mean? I got my
well, the title at least?
Huh?
Didn't they give you a little inspiration for at least the title at least? For
M.E.T.H.O.D Man. Method Man. Modern Love. M.E.T.H.O.D.O.F.L.O.V.E. I took that part. M.E.T.H.O.D. And then Master Ace record, Music Man. The Music Man.
Wow.
Put them together. M.E.T.H.O.D. Man.
Dope.
You know what I mean?
Oh.
And that I got fat bags of skunk. I got that from Michael Jackson. Yeah, I'm saying, like, all these shits come from references because I've always been a music head. So when you hear I got fat bags of skunk, I got, that's that Beatles song that Michael Jackson did over.
Come together. Yep.
Right now over me. That's all that is.
And
even the first 4 bars of Method Man I took from an artist.
Nice.
Bootsy Collins.
Wow.
Hey, you get off my cloud. Hey, you get off my cloud. You don't know my style.
So is this a underdog moment right here?
Come on, I'm trying to give people some science here.
Keep going.
Like manual. And on How High, that's a Jimi Hendrix reference.
Wow.
Excuse me as I kiss the sky. Excuse me while I kiss the sky. Burn down, Purple Haze.
Wow.
And when I did the reference, because I was what do they call it? Clutch genius. When I did that reference, I had no idea what I was referencing. I just remembered that phrase in my head, and it went well. Excuse me as I kiss the sky. Now, what he was referencing, anybody that smoked weed knows this already, so I'm not saying nothing slick to a can of oil. But when he said, excuse me while I kiss the sky, when you take a pull off the weed and it looked like a cloud and you kiss in the sky.
Wow.
So that's right. Excuse me as I kiss the sky, sing a song of sixpence, a pocket full of rye. I got that from a Bugs Bunny cartoon.
Inspiration everywhere.
Everywhere. Wherever I can get it from, I got it. Word.
Wow.
Word.
You just put me up on game, man. I gotta go do some homework. I gotta go do some homework. Okay. Biggest regret.
Biggest regret. Not being as present as I should have been in the beginning of my record career, because I had no idea that I was a top dog when I was. I should have took better care of it.
Okay.
That's it. Other than that, everything else is pretty jelly.
I know you're doing your health thing.
Yes.
What is on your plate for Thanksgiving?
I've never eaten Thanksgiving. I don't even celebrate.
Okay.
What?
You know? Yeah. One, because once you get older and you find out what was done to the indigenous people, it's pretty hard to celebrate that. So
Okay.
but God, I mean, blessings to everybody that does. I won't take away from your festivities. Have a blast and stuff, but I don't indulge. Plus, I don't like cooked turkey like that. I like deli turkey, the shit they put on the sandwich.
Have you ever done the fried turkey?
I've never had a fried turkey, but I've heard it's delicious, and I would try that. I would
Right, brother.
I would definitely try that because I'm a freak for those.
Thanksgiving, try it.
I'm a freak for those turkey legs that they be having at Universal in LA. I used to actually take a car service there and pay for a ticket just to go and get 2 turkey legs and come back out. And there was a security guy there that saw me coming. He saw me. It was like my 3rd time going there, and he knew what I was doing. And he was so nice. He said, "You know what? If you promise me that you'll go right in and come right back out, you don't even got to buy a ticket." I was like, "That's what's up." That's what's up. I thought that was so fucking cool. And he didn't even know I was Method Man. He just seen that I was there every day trying to buy a goddamn turkey leg.
Okay, a couple of quick more questions. Would you prefer recording a song or performing the recorded song?
I like to record them. Performing takes a lot of energy to get into new music like that. If you already got a hit, it's so great to just go up there knowing that once this record comes on, you're gonna kill them. Yeah. But new music is always unexplored waters, and you never know how they're gonna take it. But for somebody like a Lauryn Hill who does she can do acapella and all that shit, it's always great to try new material because that's what the people are there for. They want an experience, not just that song.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so from this point on, right? Music or acting?
Acting. I do music because I want to now, not because I have to. So yeah, definite. But the crazy thing is I got 3 albums coming out in the next 3 months. Meth Lab 3, Dirty P with Havoc, and an EP with Rockwell. Though, you know what's in the future for me though? Because I've been training really fucking hard. Crime fighting. I go out at night in the Cape and Cow.
So is that
you can all sleep safe? No, you can all sleep safe at night knowing that I'm on my job.
Is it Gotham? Is it Marvel?
Right.
We're living in Gotham right now. We're actually living in Gotham.
Where are you leading us? Is it Spider-Man? Is it
no Black Man?
Black Man.
Black Man.
That's a superhero.
You heard it here first.
And Superman.
He's leading on to something, but he hasn't let us know yet.
That is a superhero.
Nah, I'm not going to be a superhero. Not in the immediate future anytime soon. They pretty much have their cast of characters that are solidified in their universes already. But if they have an opening for somebody, 6'4",
well, you could
attractive
always
and muscular build. I'll be there.
You could always play Black Green Lantern.
Yes, but I think they already have their pick for that, and I'm applauding that pick. It's actually Denzel's son.
Oh.
Yes. Nice. They already have a doctored photo. What do you call that? Photoshopped image of him in the costume, and he looks good in it.
Nice.
He looks really good in it. I thought it was going to be Common, which I didn't totally agree with because it's like, come on, Jon Stewart is darker than that. Yeah. Let's at least let's get that right.
Yeah, true to it.
Right.
I wouldn't have mind Idris Elba, but I know he's already in Thor.
Idris wouldn't do it because Idris's whole thing is, why are we doing their characters when we should be doing our own? And he's actually said that to me because I asked him about the Black James Bond thing, and he was like, we should have our own fucking James Bond. Why would I want to, you know what I mean, play their James Bond when we can have our own? Yeah.
Well, I'm putting it in a universe that me and you do another movie together.
Damn right. Except we could do twins like Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito.
You heard it here first.
You know what I'm saying?
You heard it first. I'll put it in the universe. Twin.
What's up?
I love it.
So for the underdog that's sitting at home, he's had the door closed in his face a few times.
Mm-hmm.
He has a lot of ideas on paper, but he's afraid to put those ideas out. What kind of help me out here, Shaunie?
What kind of advice would you give him?
What kind of advice would you give him?
Find a job. Find a motherfucking job. Don't give up on your dream, but let's be real about these things. You know what I mean? Your dream ain't gonna pay the bills.
Mm-hmm.
If you happen to get your foot in the door, push your way all the way in, like it's going, like your life depended on that shit, man. And if you get 10 toes in, don't fuck it up. It's the only person that can fuck it up is you. All I can tell them is, all right, this is the best advice. Don't get in your own way. All right? Do not get in your own way, and you'll be fine. Also, if you're the smartest person in the room, you better go find another room, brother.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, once again, Meth, listen, I thank you so much for coming to the Underdog. I appreciate this so much. Much love to you, man. Much success. I wish you the whole world, man. I really do appreciate you coming, coming out, spending a little bit of time with us, and I really do appreciate it, man, for real. Real shit.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you too, Grizz. You know, we A1 since day one. That nigga got pretty hair up underneath that do-rag, y'all. He one of them niggas. He one of them niggas and shit. Why?
Mini tsunami. You already know. Everybody got to leave the beach. You know.
I can't stand y'all niggas. I can't. Niggas always steal my little girlfriends, niggas.
Y'all better leave the beach.
Fuck that.
You know y'all better leave the beach. I love you, man, for real. I love you, man, for real.
I love you too, bro. But Shaunie, respect, sister.
Yeah, everybody got to get off the beach, Yo, that was a great interview, man. Oh, beautiful.
He's dope. Like a real, genuine, authentic, down to earth, dope person. Yeah.
Yo, so hit that subscribe button. Wait. One of them corners.
I never know where that thing's at.
That subscribe button, we got a lot of good people coming up, and hit us up in the comments, man. Tell us a couple of people that you feel that we should interview or would you like to see on the show. Also, we're not just doing celebrities. We're doing, the average Joe. Also, we're going to be doing regular people, regular jobs. We're going to showcase black businesses. We're going to do cooking shows. We're going to do it all. So just pay attention.
Skits coming up. Get my accent on. You're going to help me brush up on my accent skills? I got you.
And you saw how I put that out there, right? I put that plug. But you better get ready.
It's about to go down. People, want to tune in for all of this. All of it.
So, hit us up if you want to be down.
I never really knew how to do that.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Bye.
All right.